Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a thrilling new Let's Play video. This is gonna be a video of the best game ever made by the best game developers ever, and if somebody tells you differently or you think the graphics look like shit, you can go screw yourself. This is my first game that I made. I think it was released 2007, 2008. I still see some pink pixels in those letters because I kind of just chopped them off by myself. I think I forgot to re-upload the sprite. Yeah. I was doing a Let's Play video of Concurrence, a Mag's competition winner. I didn't like it, and the video wasn't entertaining, so I decided I'll do something else. And this is that something else. I decided to do a sort of Let's Play my own game, as a few people have done lately. And I thought I'd do my first game ever, and basically just see what I used to do, and how I do things now. I'm doing a lot of game projects, which I think are marginally better than this one. Also, there's going to be voice acting, so it's going to be confusing because I'm going to be talking to myself. Think of that. And that's the biochamber, as I called it. And that's lousy explosion sound ripped off from freesoundproject.com.
So you want to know about it then? Fine. I'll tell you what I can of it. It's a funny thing, really, how such a thing can haunt a man.
Ah, I spoke wrong.
How it follows you. No matter where you go,
No matter how deep into the galaxy you run and hide. I can't remember the lines anymore.
But I get ahead of myself.
Yes, you do.
The beginning.
Of the end.
This is where it all began. The infection.
Ooh.
I'm still not entirely sure. Who? Why? And how? But at the time, I knew nothing about it. All I knew was what the little red monitor told me when the computer woke me up. And from there, it all went downhill.
Oh, how cliche. And I did that fade in. I didn't know how to use while loops or anything else. It was just adding Actually, no. No, it wasn't. I didn't add transparency. I didn't know how to use transparency in objects in AGS back then. I don't even know if that was a possibility back then, 2.72. I just made... I think I took a picture of the background, and then I made several versions of it, and I used PaintShop Pro to add the see-through image there, and lowered the transparency in the basically Photoshop, and I did it that way. I used so much manual labor that I could just bypass nowadays. Also, yes, it was my idea that this was the first thing that the character saw, so this was one of the first things the player saw, and this was how the game starts. Wake up. I don't know why the monitor in the game world would have a load data button, but oh well, maybe it's a catch. I didn't also know how to make a new save load screen. I hadn't the slightest clue as to how the hell to do that, so I skipped it. I just used the basic ones. Nowadays, I'm trying to do my own, although they're not as pretty. Well, they're prettier, but they're not as functional. So yeah, basically, that's how this Infection trilogy starts. I started development of Infection Episode 1. Yes, this is going to be the history section. You can skip a couple of minutes now if you don't want to hear it. I started working on Infection as a side project back in 2006, I think, when I heard about Adventure Game Studio from the Finnish Microbit magazine. It had a feature on, I think it was 5 Days a Stranger. I played, enjoyed, found out how it was made, what program was used, found AGS, found the forums, enjoyed them very much. Especially loved the beginner's questions area. I love it. I think he was Chris Muck back in the day. Now he's just Chris or LeChris. Chris, if you're watching this, thank you. You've been a massive help. And without you, I don't think I could have done any of this shit. So there goes. I started working this game as basically a story. Actually, I'm going to tell you a bit more about the story later on. You'll see how this was developed. And there's going to be some possible minor spoilers in this video, but who the hell cares? This game is old as hell. I'm actually planning to do a remake. We'll get to that later. Now, more horrible voice acting.
And so I woke up.
Sound effects stolen from Half-Life 2. Yeah. This is the starting point of Infection. Episode 2. Notice that when you step away from the light, the character goes slightly darker. I was so proud of myself when I did that. It was incredible. The first room is basically where I started developing any game ever. My first attempt with AGS consisted of basically a single room. It had 4 hypersleep chambers. They were all shut up, all broken, and the player woke up in one of them. And there was no atmosphere. The player was wearing a grey version of this suit. He didn't have a gun. He just kind of walked around the room and found that in the other chambers everyone was dead. And he was alone, and he had to find out what had happened. And of course he was an amnesiac. He'd lost his memory. I toyed around with the idea. I was thinking something along the lines that the player character is the bad guy, and he was the one who caused all the destruction before trying to hide it all and go to sleep, and then he lost his memory or something. I don't know. I dumped the idea after all. And then I started doing this. The walk animations are horrible. I apologize. They seemed okay back in the day, but they're not. They're absolutely terrible. And we don't have a crotch. What else can I say? A lot of copy-paste. A lot of simple stuff. And then there's the characters. Mike, our ship mechanic. He was basically modeled slightly after me. He's pretty good at what he does, but he's a bit on the lazy side. He's a bit of a prick. And he can't really take anything seriously. He's always making jokes and laughing at stuff that probably shouldn't even be laughed at. He's me. And that's why I voice him. Also because I didn't want to ask anyone else to do a massive load of work. Mike had like 1,000 lines of voice acting, and I did all those, while the other characters only had about 100. So I asked my girlfriend at the time, and still is, was doing the voice of Ellie. Rub, rub, rub. And then the captain, Jacob Pliskin, was done by a good friend. And I asked him to do a voice that sounded a little bit Russian. And he did. And then people complained that he sounds like he's Russian. I think he was successful. What can I say? He was good. Let's do this. Let's talk.
Okay, listen up. Ellie, I want you to check the cargo holds. I'm getting an error inside cargo 1, so check that first.
Yes, sir.
Mike, I have to admit, I have a bad feeling about this. You go check the engines and make sure my ship keeps running. I'll do the necessary checks, scans and communications in the control room. Good luck.
I was so proud of that door. I worked a long time to get it working. I think Chris was one of the guys, again, who helped me get it working. It's so that I felt it was ingenious that it works so that when you get close to it, it automatically opens. But people were trying to click it, and nothing happens when you click it, because it's a hotspot. I made it a hotspot for unknown reasons. I should never have made it a hotspot. But look how pretty it is. Sound effects still stolen from Half-Life 2. Most of them were. Some were from Free Sound Project, others from Half-Life 2. I basically just thought, fuck it, who's gonna notice? Ah, so many memories. Okay.
My self-defense submachine gun. All crew members of all ships are issued these nowadays. No surprise, space piratism is at an all-time low.
one of the other guy, the guy who made the first Let's Play video of this, Mr. Dead Meat, or the Undead Meat, notified me that space piratism isn't correct, it's piracy, and piratism refers rather to software piratism, but... Oh no, I broke the game already! I kept running into this issue with the old games. I never found it in the first game myself, but now I've done it. No! No! I don't know how I do it. I keep, in the earlier versions at least, before the current version, I kept getting into situations where I could walk characters off of their walkable areas, and this is one of them. He's off. And he doesn't return. I don't understand why. Damn it, I'm gonna have to restart the recording now, don't I? Oh, no, there's a restart key! Ha! I'm so clever. I didn't even remember that.
And
So I did wake up. It's really weird hearing myself talk like that. Yes, yes, talkity talk. I like talking games. I still don't understand how I keep doing that. I just kind of... the character just walks off the walkable areas. I don't understand how.
That's Ellie's footlocker.
I even breathe into the microphone. I recorded my voice acting using an old headset. Actually, I'm recording my voice right now using an old headset, but it was an even older headset. I think Ellie's voice was also recorded with a basic headset, and the captain's voice was recorded with, I think, either a headset or a microphone. All different devices, all different settings. It's a miracle we sound even this good. Now this is the recreational room. There was supposed to be a bar stool here and other stuff, but then I got bored and I kind of skipped it. There's also a plasma screen for...
The captain's idea of crew relaxation. Good man.
Good man.
The captain really loves these old mafia movies. I don't.
We would... That's a hint. We were making a school project which was called Mafioso, and it was a browser-based game in which the players would be mafiosos, and they would gather their own mafia groups, and they would battle out on the internet. And one of our teachers was being a dick when he got full power in it, and he kept killing me. I liked it. That's why we made Mafioso thing. There's also a propaganda poster. I don't think it was really supposed to be here, but I had to put something on the wall. Also, I can't understand why I made the controls the way I made them. Actually, yes, I do. I didn't know how to change how mouse clicks are processed. Actually, the early versions of this game were programmed using the interaction editor, which is basically just a drop-down menu of stuff. A mess, a real mess to use. Yeah. I didn't even know how to change that, so I think I found some kind of a module or plugin or template which had something similar to Beneath a Steel Sky, and then I tried to modify that. But yeah, basically the Marine Corps poster is a memento from the ship's captain's youth, which is a combined youth. Mike had the same youth in the military, they both served. I'm hoping to go a little bit deeper into their service history in the second game, which has been in development from 2008, early 2008, and I still haven't got the slightest clue when it's going to be released.
It's a maintenance panel that contains electronics for the elevator in the room ahead.
That was a trick. I just kind of drew it there to make the wall not look so plain, and then I made a hotspot out of it. I wondered if I should do a puzzle that uses it. I didn't. It's just there. These signs never do anything. They were supposed to show this bright green pulsing warning light and have this red text alert going left from right scrolling in them. I never did that. I can seal Ellie inside. Actually, it doesn't matter. I can't remember everything. Not now. I should get moving.
Not now. I should get moving.
Moving. I pronounced things funnily. I still do sometimes. Not a hint of perspective. I just drew lines. I even still see those lines aren't supposed to be visible out there. There's so much stuff wrong with this game. I can't believe some people actually liked it. The engine room. The lighting effects were basically all done in Photoshop, PaintShop Pro. I just drew them on the background images themselves.
There's somebody.
She did that scream well.
Ellie?
Ellie!
Captain, did you pick that?
Mike.
I'm not gonna listen to the stuff. If you wanna play this game, I'm gonna tell you to do a same thing Dave Gilbert told me to do when watching his Let's Plays of his own games. Try the game, play it, enjoy it, if you can. Yeah, Ellie's in trouble. She's under attack. We need to go help her! Because things are in the shit. There was another... these corridors actually are a remnant of an earlier draft of the game, in which... that was my second draft, which I thought about, and I actually did a few rooms for it. And I think this character sprite is basically a remnant from there too. I was planning to do a game in which... I think it was something akin to Resident Evil 1, the first Resident Evil movie. It was a big hit back then. And what I was thinking was a group of 3 or 4 soldiers in these green biohazard suits are sent underground in this laboratory complex inside a massive bunker, and then they tell the player character to do the Doom thing, stay behind and watch the door, while we others go ahead and investigate, and then they all die, and the player has to go in and find out what happens. And that was the first premise of the game, basically, zombies. And then I saw this movie 28 days later, and then this happened. The music works pretty damn well. I like it. Always did. It's got that wonderful electronic sound. It's exactly what I asked for. Mr. Ferrara or Tony Caven. How do you pronounce it in English? Caven. Mr. Cave-In did the musics for this game, and he's basically done most of my musics always. Except for one project. I might do a video of that later. Maybe. But, Ellie! Oh dear, so much blood. The idea here was that there was this compartment.
What am I supposed to do? There's a small compartment inside the next oxygen box.
It was basically my idea. That's going to be found out later on if you are observant. There was this guy who was trying to stow away on a different ship. I think the ship was called the Ferret for some reason. They give ships animal names. Ferret, Pelican, Mockingbird, Tweety Bird, Sylvester. And he was trying to sneak aboard on that ship, but the captains did a cargo switch to maximize profits on our ship, and so the Ferret captain didn't have to make an unprofitable trip, but that also lengthened the travel time of this neighboring compartment. And so the stowaway who had snuck on board and prepared for a couple of weeks' journey now found himself on a several months' journey. He panicked. He found out he was in a large container full of explosives, and he did the first thing he came to his mind. He blew the wall open. And he blew a portion of the wall, but unfortunately it impacted with this container, creating a crack.
The piece of wall must have had quite an impact.
I think there was supposed to be this some kind of blue chemical spill here. Maybe I forgot about it. Anyway, Ellie!
Ellie?
Are you okay? Kev.
Yes, someone on board. I found him here.
Where?
Ran for the elevator. Oh, it's not. It looks like
Oh,
Mike.
What?
My
Yeah. Biggest complaints of voice acting came from Ellie's voice acting done by my girlfriend. I shouldn't say this out loud, but she didn't sound very good. I think she had a cold or something, and she's still trying to do the voices because I asked her to try, and then this happened, and people didn't really like it. Biggest issue I think we had was that I was the only one of the 3 voice actors for this project who actually speaks fairly fluent English, whereas the others more or less stumble around. My girlfriend has fairly good English, but her pronunciation has issues, and then my other friend who did the captain's voice, he has mediocre Finnish English.
Mike, what's the situation down there?
this
But as you can hear, the pronunciation is a little shabby.
Ellie's been injured in the
Can she move?
I'm going.
I'm being an asshole by telling that my friends aren't good at English, but I'm just telling how it really is. It's not just my opinion, it's been validated by other people's feedback. They didn't like the voices. And this was my primary lesson. I decided that I would not use Finnish voice actors primarily from now on. And instead I'll be using myself, of course, but I'm going to be asking external voice actors from the US, England, all over Europe, people with accents, people who still speak fluent English daily, not like me when I use it only to make these videos and once a month at work when some Indian guy calls me,
How
which
is
is
she?
very
Really?
She's fine.
Fine, nothing's wrong.
What about the cargo? Is it intact?
No, one of the containers is damaged, but I'm not sure if it's actually leaking. And if it was,
Wouldn't the biohazard bells be ringing already? Yeah. The captain knows this thing is going to shit.
Nope.
The captain doesn't really know what's in the cargo. He doesn't know if it's actually going to cause any biohazard bells to go off, or bells and whistles or whatever. I'm going to save. But the most thing, why the captain is like that, why he wonders if any alarms would go off even if shit was going on, is that it relies that the mechanics of the ship are okay, and the mechanics are maintenance by who else? Us! And that means it's full of shit. It's not working. Nothing's working in this place.
Okay, I've got the suit pack.
Yeah, I've got the suit patches. They're basically bicycle tire patches. You just put them on the inner tube, and it just fixes right up. They were a good gimmick item to just run out and pick up. I gave the players basically an idea that they could try trapping the dude later on in the game, the bad guy in here, using these switches. They don't really help you because he always has a way of escape. My god, it took an incredible amount of work to get these doors to work right, so they showed correctly open or closed from both sides, because I hadn't the slightest idea of how to do arrays or any kind of information structure. They were just room variables that were being set depending on which direction you were coming from at the time, and then there was a couple of global variables too, which I was using very sporadically, very confusingly. If I tried to read the code I made for this game that time, it's a mess. It's a horrendous mess. Just so. Still nothing wrong over here, but over here stuff's gonna go to shit. Dun 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 dun.
What happened?
We lost the lights. There's somebody in here. In this room.
Mike!
I slapped my hand to make that sound.
Ah, get it off me! Get it!
Captain! Mike! Help me!
Oh God.
Help me!
Ow. Ow. The gunshot sound effect is the MP5 sound effect from Counter-Strike Source.
Left them for dead.
Trivia information.
There was nothing I could do. Or so I let myself believe.
Aw, Mike's having guilt issues.
I got to the top of the elevator, disabling the elevator mechanism permanently.
I was supposed to add a gunshot sound there.
I was safe. I'm sorry.
He's sorry. I'm sorry. We're all sorry.
I disabled the controls so the elevator.
You can't look at it. I was supposed to make it so you can look at it and it's gonna say, he's gonna say, oh, there's a bullet hole there. I don't know how that got there. Haha. So yeah, the elevator's disabled, you can close the doors, and you can think, oh well, whatever's down there is locked down there. He can't get out. All is well. And when you least expect it, well, shit happens. He's in a place, he's got access to a bunch of explosives. He's not a stupid zombie. He's basically one of those 28 days later fast zombies, except... Oh, right, I have to go here. Except he can use tools, explosives, stuff. Oh, God. This was one of the first rooms I actually finished in this game, and, this monitor here, I was so proud of myself. Look at it. Ah. I need to do something twice as awesome in the sequel. Mind the gap. And then the computer seat stolen from Final Fantasy The Spirits Within movie.
What the? Looks like the captain.
I can't get into the system.
If I would turn off the main power and reboot the entire ship's main system, that just might be enough to get the computer to forget any orders. I should go to the engine room and kill the power.
Yeah, so we have to run to the other end of the ship. And the reason for that trip is I had to introduce our new friend, the dude.
What the hell is it this time?
And that was an explosion.
That freaking explosion.
Now we save again. Because I'm not sure I can do this. I might die miserably here. Dude. Gotcha. I fooled myself. I actually explained to the teachers who evaluated this project that I made some kind of a cool artificial intelligence system which allows the dude to try and track you down, but basically he's just cheating. There's these regions on the floor all over the place which basically just track your movement and tell the game when you moved from left screen to right screen, and then it spawns the dude from where you just came from. If you move from left to right, the dude spawns on your left. Simple. And it works. It just works so well. It always keeps the dude in a position where it seems like he's following you. But it won't create an impossible situation where if you forget to move for half a second, or save, just stop and save, you can't create a situation where it's impossible to finish. You always have a chance, you always have an opportunity. Also, the dude can't enter this room, and I think the Dead Meat and Mr. Ratsouffle were correct. I think I made it so he can't enter this room because it was just too difficult to navigate. I was worried that he'd get stuck or try going the other way around and it would look just really stupid. Also, I was afraid the players might get stuck and frustrated, so I just made it so he can't come in here.
Just this once, I should check the manual.
The manual joke. Let's check the manual.
It's the manual. I need to kill the powers.
La da 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 da. After disabling powers to back up fuse 78B. Da 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 da. Disengage security matrix node A1 through Z89. Da ba da ba da. That's it.
I can do it without the manual.
Oh, how many times I've said that to myself and screwed things over royally.
Let's see. I think it's this switch right here. Oh, crap.
Oh, I'm laughing at my own jokes here, aren't I funny?
God damn it! Wait.
Why does the
What was
music
that
stop?
noise?
Why does the music go away
Is
when
it
there's
here?
talking?
Where is it?
It's not supposed to do that. Or is it?
Come on, I need some lights. Mummy.
Oh, God.
Oh, thank God.
The music acted funny. I didn't remember it was supposed to do that. By the way, I'm going to show you... I can't remember if you can get through it here. There's some wires running loose here. Why? Because Mike sucks. I'm also going to show if Mr. Deadmeat ever watches this video. He failed to find this.
I am. Besides,
Oh, wait.
no,
How do I get in there? I hid a key behind those covers. I can't remember how to get to it. I think you have to do it later in the game. Before going to hypersleep when the engines are off. And then you can go down there. Okay, let's do this. Now we have to get back to the computer room. Oh God, did I make that? Yeah, I made it so that when the dude wakes up, he starts making sounds and you can hear him. I was supposed to add cool echo sound effects and whatnot, but I didn't. And it just sounds like he's right at your ear. You can hear footsteps and stuff like that. And he makes them at random intervals, so you can't expect them. They're always random. But they're assigned to you that you know he's alive, he's awake, he's tracking you. And you need to be ready to defend yourself. Because he's going to do... They do that! Oh, right. He can't come through closed doors, so then he forces himself to come out the other way. I forgot about that. Oh, man. Now I know where he's coming from. No! Oh, no, I suck at my own game. How pathetic. Save. It's really hard to do this, actually. And I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to change. The combat system for Infection 2 has already gone through a lot of testing, a lot of thought, a lot of process, and I think I have a system that's going to work well. It's basically one where you still have to basically pick the gun and click on the enemy, but instead of just having to click on the enemy, you can click anywhere on the screen, and the closer to the enemy you click, the better accuracy you get. And there's a percentual chance of hitting. If you click right on the enemy, you always hit. But if you miss him by 5 pixels, you get 5% deduction, so there's only 95% chance of hitting him. Something like that. So basically, the less hasty you are, the more time you take aiming at the enemies, the better chance you have at success. I think it felt to me like a good way to go.
full engine failure.
Oh no.
It shows
This was a
that
stupid
fuel
part of the
tank.
game. Basically, I just make you run back and forth,
Someone just
from one end of the ship to the other.
himself. Well, it's a critical error.
I don't know why I designed the computer so that if there's a critical error, you can't do anything with it until the error is resolved. That's just stupid. Who would do that? I'm also going to be running out of ammo. I think I just have enough. No, I don't. I have to go get more ammo. It's possible to make it through this game without getting more ammo. I know that. I've done it. But then I wasn't stopping to chat with you guys every once in a while, so there was that. Oh, by the way, that also gives me a chance to show you another cool thing. Oh well, we'll get to it in a moment. Alright, I could have taken a shortcut, I think. I could have avoided him. probably, maybe. Partially. Also, broken light and blood on the wall. The dude came through here. He broke the lights. See? And he did that. That was the first explosion you heard. When you came out of the,
This guy's. How the heck is he still conscious?
Yeah, he's mad. He blew this open when he, you came out of the computer room. He blew that apart. These aren't actually the same rooms. These are different rooms that I made. It's just, you come in from a different direction.
No. Oh man. The mask has been smashed. He's dead.
Oh no, did I do that really? I should have made it so you can try picking stuff up earlier. It's just really annoying now that I think of it. It's pretty bad game design that you have to go back and forth all the time. It's a little stupid. Oh right, no, I don't have to get more ammo.
Those seem wrong.
Switches,
That
wrong.
dude must have flipped the switches and cut off the fuel supply to the engine.
Still, there's a humming sound. Oh well.
There. That should. Oh, you've got to be kidding me with these lights.
The running joke with the lights.
What? Sounds like I shot something important. That sound means that the fire suppression has failed and the engine room's about to be vented into space.
I was talking fast! Oh no! He's gonna catch you! No, he's not. He can't catch you. Unless you stop moving, then he can catch you. But that would be stupid now, wouldn't it? There's no rune transitions. This is silly. Get out of there, Mike! Boom, boom! And no sound effects still. Oh god, that looked horrible. And there's no sound effects. Why didn't I add any sound effects? Oh well, we don't have the dude anymore. No more dude, all is well. Oh yeah, you can't do that yet. You can only do it later. There's a secret in that cargo container. Mr. Deadmeat found it. And it was pretty funny when he realized what he'd done. Oh dear. I'll show you too. I'll explain it to you a little better. It's a bit of a spoiler, and I'm gonna warn you before it comes, but it's not that hard to figure out if you are just following what's going on here. But anyway, we'll get to that in a second. Now to the wonderful computer part. Again. My god, was I proud of this. My god, do I feel stupid for doing that. Yeah, that was also a joke. When this game came out, AGS 3.0 had just been released, but the game was still made using AGS 2.72, so the ship's computer was also using ship version 2.72. They were thinking of upgrading the 3.0, but oh well. There's the manual flight, and you can't use it. I'm sorry, people. I did not know how to make it so you can use it.
Ouch. I guess we.
Yeah, we're pretty badly off course. I promise you, I will make it my life's mission to make sure you can fly something in the second game. You can fly in space. It's going to be very simple. It's not going to be full 3D or anything, but you can fly in space. Stop complaining. Ship status tool, all is well. Power control.
Oh, hell. The power reboot has shut down the hypersleep chain, and I'll need the captain's password and authorization to restart.
So now we need the captain's password.
Power seems to be running smoothly through the ship's systems.
Oh no, we're missing power. I originally thought I would make a puzzle where you have to get all these triggered somehow. There's a water container in the storage room. There are oxygen tanks there, and you have to find nutrients from the nutrition computer, but I skipped that because I ran out of time. I had a deadline, actually.
Current status. The captain locked the Current status, functional.
There's a wrong voice acting line there. Funny thing. There was really no playtesting to this game. I basically handed this game before release to my girlfriend and two of my friends and asked them, hey, could you play this game for me? And I think they each put like an hour of testing and reported, okay, it works. It's okay. I finished it. And so I released it. And yeah, I could have done a lot better. I don't know what that is. I just look a lot of space programs, and I thought that looked kind of like something I saw there. There's a giant black hole in the middle. It's cool. There's the event log, which wasn't very good. I could have done a lot better. And here is a catch. This is something you really need to understand, how badly I sucked at making adventure games. I didn't know how to make my own fonts. Okay? I didn't know how. I had no idea that there was a font editor out there that I could use. No idea. So how did I do all this text then? I drew every single letter in the alphabet, including numbers and special symbols, in a picture. They're all 5 pixels tall. Every single one. And then I took up this picture, for example, and I copied and pasted the text letter by letter, creating each and every word one by one.
Damn.
Every screen. Every single goddamn screen. Everyone. You have no idea how frustrating it was to do, but I had no idea how to do it better. And I didn't want to go around asking the forums for every single thing. How do I make my own fonts or stuff like that? I didn't want to do that. I couldn't find it, so I bypassed it. I used brute force. I just wanted to do games. I didn't know how, so I did what I had to do.
Fuse 5541, eh? Always causing trouble, that one.
Yes, 5541 is always calling. Where the heck is Fuse 5541? Oh yeah, we need his password.
Cargo Bay 3 contains cargo assigned to UEF Marine Corps.
So we're carrying UEF Marine Corps cargo. We weren't supposed to be carrying that. What were we doing carrying that? Oh dear, there's a secret in there! It's a cool secret, though. You'll like it. Okay, so now we have to get into the vacuumed area, so we need to remove the vacuum. And because we're mechanics, we know how that works. I'll get to this in a second. And that works, but there's a sensor system which detects if the vacuum of the engine room is leaking into the rest of the ship. So the the atmosphere in the rest of the ship is leaking into the vacuum of the engine room, so the ship blocks off the engine room again, because the fire is now out. I don't know why it doesn't do that anyway. I wanted to create a puzzle. But anyway. Also, the dude's been here. He sabotaged these, except the rusty one. That was just Mike being a silly willy. But the other two, the dude was smart enough to sabotage. These were, I think I mentally modeled these somewhat after the Pelican dropships from Halo, with those flaps, the ailerons or whatever they're called. Decelerons. Is that what they're called? I think I googled that from somewhere. I'm not sure if that's right. Anyway. Yeah. That's that. There's nothing much more to say about that room. And here we have the survival room, which looks awfully empty.
That ration. Disgusting since 1995.
I think 1995 was it the year Metal Gear Solid was released? I don't know. I linked that somehow to Metal Gear Solid. Or was it I don't know how. I just somehow made a mental link with Metal Gear Solid. And here is the Ferrara.
Ferrara? Sounds like it was made by a UFO.
That there, ladies and gentlemen, is a double joke, because the guy who made the music for this game is nicknamed Ferrara. That's not so special. He probably had a good smile out of that one. But there's also catch. There's another reference in that word. If you play the game XCOM, the XCOM or the what's the other name for the games? I can't remember. Anyway, the sequel, Terror from the Deep. If you look, I think it was either the map device or the radar device in that game. You will realize that those devices, one of them, at the bottom right of the screen in XCOM, Terror from the Deep, is actually manufactured by a company called Ferrara. It has that word down there. I have no idea why it's there, or did they just pick it up from somewhere, but hell,
Good idea.
it's there, and I stole it from there. Also, I wanted to create a puzzle which had two solutions, and I'm going to show you.
Do I
Oh yeah, you have to look at them first. Then you can pick them up.
I'm not trying to send a hello? I don't think anyone
Yeah. There's two ways you can solve this puzzle. Hold on. Can I still solve this? Have I trapped myself? Because I don't have the explosives right now. I was supposed to make some kind of trick where you could get the explosives anyway. How did I do that? Because now I can't get into the biohazard chamber. Hold on. I know I was planning some kind of failsafe that if I fucked up, you could still get the explosives somehow. But what did I do? And did I ever implement it? Or did I leave a bug in the system that kills the game? Oh dear. This is scary. I think I may have fucked up bad enough to ruin the game. Oh. Sorry! I clicked stuff. So I screwed up doubly.
Since I broke the elevator, through here is the only way to get to the captain's body. If only I could make a hole in the door. Then the
Did I put a place where the explosives can be found other than down there in the biohazard chamber? I was supposed to. Or did I forget? Because if I forgot, this is going to be very, very, very stupid. Because I screwed up in my own game.
there's no point.
I think I might have made a mistake. No, wait. Was there... I need to go take a look here again. Yes, there's an explosive there.
It's a strip of the
It's incredibly hard to spot, but that's how you do it. That's where I hid it, so you can still get the explosives even if you don't pick them up when you get the first chance. I should have put them in a better place. That was really confusing. Even I didn't notice that. Yeah, and I want to show you how else you can solve this puzzle, because I saw the Undead Meat do this puzzle using the timer unit, but you can also combine the power cell with the signal receiver, and then you can add explosives to the mix to create a remote explosive. And you put that on the door, it's not really so much different, but I wanted to have two ways to one problem to see if I can code a scenario where there's two solutions to one problem. Oh, whoops. Then you put that on the blast seal.
Now I need to detonate it.
And now we gotta use the FETS, the Ferrara Emergency Transmitter System. The FETS. Somebody's trying to send me a message. What foolishness. Now that window in the background's blinking. It's annoying me. I'm gonna have to go close it. Be right back. There we go. Fixed. Oh, wrong place. See, they're out of power. They've turned blue. A dark blue. And now using the power of my voice, my beautiful voice, I'll make stuff explode. Hello!
Hello? I don't think anyone heard that.
No?
I've set the
Oh, right, you have to set it to maximum frequency and then...
Hello? I think a certain bomb just went off.
Haha! I felt so clever about that. Yeah. That's what I was trying to show you. I thought that was just awesome. Also, I don't know why I gave the player three bits of explosives, because I think the third one's just for show. I was preparing for a third part. There was something else you could do with the explosives, but there really isn't. I planned it, but I scrapped it. Trick is, I was making this game for a school project, and it had to be done by spring 2008. I'm gonna save here, and
Yeah. I wonder what kind of...
they contain dangerous stuff, and this is kind of a spoiler. So if you don't want spoilers for this game or the sequel, especially for the sequel, don't watch.
Let's see what this baby really contains.
Fuck you, player! Ha! Yeah. There's something very, very explosive in there. It's a bomb. It's a bomb that's on a timer and it's just waiting to blow up. Why hasn't it blown up yet? When will it blow up? You'll find out in the sequel. Maybe. If you're clever. Yay! Now we did it. I think we can now visit this side to get the item. To get Michael's footlocker key, which he's dropped when maintaining the engines. He doesn't like doing it, but he does it still every now and then because he has to. Doesn't he? Yes, he does.
Ah, so that's where my key...
So now we have Mike's key. I had something in mind I wanted to show you. I don't know what it is.
Any one
Oh.
of these switches could well be the ship's self-destruction function. Nope, wasn't that one.
Ha ha! I made a joke again. I'm so funny. I'm sorry, people. I'm tired. It's 1 a.m. and I'm still playing my own game. How silly of me. Let's go. Yes, I didn't know how to make stuff happen basically only once without using global variables. I didn't want to use global variables, so I did that the way I did.
Sorry, but
Yes, I'm gonna go through your pockets.
there.
At least you get to keep your fingers. There's a character in the sequel who doesn't. He loses them in the demo. Oh dear. That actually looks pretty nice. The fire damage on the wall there. It came out pretty nice. I'm happy. Okay, let's get out of here then. Back to the hypersleep chamber. I don't know why I named it the hypersleep. It sounds silly. Not much, but a little bit silly. Hypersleep. It's like sleep, but it's only more hyper! Hypersleep. Sleep. It's sounds like a Japanese anime. How silly, really. God, I need sleep. I'll finish this game. It won't take much longer. Now we can open Captain's Footlocker first. We'll start with that. Click.
There's the captain's personal notebook data cube.
And data cube is a reference to Deus Ex. If somebody didn't realize why it's called a data cube and it's blue, it's because it's Deus Ex. Idiots. Don't you know anything?
Spreadsheets.
Yes, there's Excel spreadsheets. Old military reports from the captain's past.
Come on.
A netlink to something called Mafioso, our old browser game from school.
Found it.
And that lollipop password, I think it was reference to Time Splitter's Future Perfect, in which one sequence you have to find a password, and then your future self gives it to you. The password's banana, stuff like that. It's a hint, basically, a reference to that. And then Michael's Footlocker.
I wonder where my key. That's my footlocker. I wonder.
Interior. Oh.
It's my favorite blue coffee mug and my bunny. I'll just take you with me. For luck.
I say that in a freakish way.
It's my lucky bunny.
It's my lucky bunny.
That
The bunny is my mascot. It's always been that. I haven't really shown it off anymore. I used it when I was in school. I don't use it so much anymore. I did draw it on the workplace whiteboard, and it's been there for like 6 months now. He backs up his files on DataCube, and then there's a lot of audio files, and we're not going to listen to them because it's going to take ages. It's not very important, really. I think what was important was the power control.
Re-establish. Insert. Now I've got power in the hypersleep pod. I guess it's time to go.
Yes, and the end of game is here, boys and girls. That was Infection 1, Episode 1. 1. The ship, 1. As you can see, it wasn't a very special game. It wasn't a very good game. It certainly wasn't a pretty game. It's not a very good sounding game. But the point here I wanted to make was I wanted to see if I could make a game on my own as a solo project. And I think I worked out pretty well. And after that, I took a long break. I wasn't able to work properly. I've done like 3 reboots on Infection 2, and I always keep demanding more and more of myself, making it better and better. Always keep coming back to the point I just can't do it. I'm not good enough. And I'm currently, at the time of recording this, it is October 2011. I'm working on 2 game projects, both of which I'm hoping to finish by end of 2012. And after those 2 projects, I'm hoping my skills as game developer have accumulated relating to AGS far enough that I can finally put Infection 2 into full production. I'll be able to finish all the room graphics, I'll finally be able to finish all the animations, the character templates, and I'll finally be able to finish the damn thing. I wanted to do it so long, and I'm so sorry it hasn't been done, but I just haven't had the time. I've had to switch jobs, I've had to move twice. There's just been so much stuff to do. I just haven't been able to do it, and when I try, I always have to remind myself I'm not good enough as a game developer. I want to make a good game. I want to make a good piece of entertainment, something you can enjoy, something which has a good story, good graphics, is enjoyable in all aspects. And so far, I haven't been able to do that. I'm sorry. That's the last time I'm going to tell you I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't! I'm sorry! Let's go to sleep. Michael, it's time to go to sleep. I won!
It was was dead. Ellie was dead. And the ship had become nothing more than an uncontrollable floating piece of debris. But I was alive. And I would stay alive. And someone was bound to find me. All that was left for me now was to wait for rescue. And hope that whatever had been unleashed on the Pelican today had been contained. Maybe luck would finally change for me. Maybe when I woke up, things would be better. Fat chance.
I sound English when I do that. I can't really control my accents. It's a weird combination of American accent and a British accent. And yes, this screen was also written by actually copy-pasting the letters one by one. It's incredibly stupid. And that's what I used to look like, ladies and gentlemen. I looked like that in 2008. I can't believe it. I've gained like 100 pounds or something from there. I was 18 years old. Infection merits, programming, graphics, dialogue, storyline, voice of Mike. Yeah, and there's the short history of why I made the game. And we're gonna listen to a little bit of some pretty cool ending music that I didn't really implement properly. You never get to really listen to it. I like this bit. I really like it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna listen to it in my own time. You can also listen to it. I think you can find it on Mr. Ferrara's website. If not, I'm sure we can arrange for a link somewhere in the comments or in the description. Look there if you want to hear the music of this game or want to download the game. And hell, thank you for watching. I'm amazed I did that in one sitting. I'm amazed if you're still watching this after all this time. Thank you. Thank you for your interest and thank you for your time. That's that. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. Sleep tight.